What's going on, everyone? Mystic Malones, Malone Bone, James Sprout, whatever you know me by. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I know that I am. Life is good. I'm staying very, very busy. Other than doing the YouTube and the gaming stuff, got bowling going on. I just signed up. We've got a big tournament in, I believe we're going in June. It's out in Vegas. It's a tournament I go to every single year. It's the big national USBC Open Championship. So if you're just a regular average bowler or you're a professional bowler, you can go to these tournaments. They have a tournament every single year. It travels around the country and you get to bowl in it. It's a big tournament. Everyone goes to it. Last year was in Syracuse, New York, which was pretty cool. They had like 50,000 people that went to it it starts in like March, I believe. So it goes like March to June, something like that. So it's like 4 months of people coming in and bowling. But the first year I went, it was in El Paso, Texas, which that was so weird. It was kind of cool. That's the closest I've ever been to Mexico. But so I went to El Paso, Texas for that. Then I went to Reno, Nevada, which that's like a mini Las Vegas. Then I went to Vegas. Then last year it was in Syracuse, and this year, or next year, it's going to be in Vegas. So got that. So I'm starting to save money for that and prepare for that trip. Work is slowing down a little bit. When it gets into the winter season, the spa industry slows down a lot. Primarily, we sell a lot of spas to the Northeast. So New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, that whole area likes to buy hot tubs. But when it becomes winter, obviously it snows, and trying to get tractor trailers up there, it just creates a whole big mess. So the industry really slows down. So we're slowly getting into that process of slowing down with sales. But so it always gets a little iffy in the winter. There's been some winters here where I've worked for my uncle where it's very, very bad. Where for 4 months we've sold, or not 4 months, for 4 weeks we've sold maybe 2-3 spas, and that's not good. You got employees. You might have to let go of some employees, reduce your costs the best that you can. It can get very, very, very dangerous and very scary during the winter. But so I've got that going on, and my aunt and uncle, they're thinking about moving and downsizing. Right now we live out in the country on 4 acres of land, big house. It's beautiful out here. I love it out here. But the house is just way too big. Honestly, it's way too big. There's a bunch of rooms that nobody even goes into. So they want to downsize. My uncle's getting pretty old, and not being rude or anything like that, but he's getting old, and he's got some medical things going on. So downsizing, getting a little closer to civilization, and a little closer to work, making things easier for him and for all of us. So that's in the works right now. That won't be till about May, but all that's going on right now. So got all that. But at the same time, still got to work on my YouTube stuff. So, welcome to SproutCast, episode number 4. We're going to talk about something very, very important to me that I feel, especially the younger generation, even somewhat my generation, they don't have these skills. What we're going to talk about is listening and communication skills. Now, technology is so cool, honestly. I love technology. The fact that I can record I'm recording this video on my cell phone. I can upload it onto YouTube, and people across the world can watch it. That's pretty cool. I live in Virginia. I grew up in New York. So I still have family there. My mom and sister are up in New York, and I still have a bunch of friends there. So the fact that I can talk to them, I could FaceTime them on Xbox. I play with a bunch of friends from New York. And, we play Fortnite together, and I just destroy Pierce McGrade. That's a shout out to Pierce McGrade. We play duos all the time and talk trash to each other. I love Pierce, but so I'm able to talk to them, which is so cool. I mean, even I have friends in Michigan and Oklahoma. I've never met these people, but we've known each other for such a long time. And the fact that I can talk to them and communicate with them is so cool. And that's the beauty of technology. But at the same time, people nowadays don't have communication and listening skills. And what sums it up, my uncle says this to me all the time. There's a reason that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And that's because you have to listen twice as much as you speak. You'll come across people that might be a little too confident in themselves, which if you haven't watched my confidence podcast, go ahead and check that out. But if you have too much confidence in yourself and you're pretty much like maybe an asshole, then all you're doing is just talking because you want to hear yourself talk. You're not actually listening or carrying on a conversation with someone. Then there's people that I come across that I know in my life, or I've come across them, where they have no communication skills. So here's a little scenario for you, just so you understand what I'm talking about. If you ask me a question, what do I do for work? People nowadays, they're called the one-word answer people. They never elaborate on anything, which frustrates the heck out of me, or it frustrates me. So if you were to ask me, what do I do for work? I would say, well, I'm a carpenter. And that's it. The conversation just ends there, and it makes no sense. And then you have to say, well, what type of carpentry do you do? What else do you do? Tell me something. You have to ask the person like 10 questions to get 10 answers out of them. What it should be, which this is what you should work on, is if you ask me, what do I do for work? Well, I work for my uncle's hot tub company. I'm mainly a carpenter, but I do a bunch of stuff around the warehouse. I'm somewhat of a warehouse manager. I take care of the garbage, keep the warehouse clean and organized. I do a lot of carpentry work mainly, but I hang sides on the spas. I build the spas. I prepare them for shipping. I white the spas, which that's the process of getting it ready to get shipped out. And, I kind of bounce around. I do a little bit of everything. That's two completely, that's like the polar opposite, the one-word answer and a real legitimate answer, because then that opens up the conversation more. I value intelligent conversations. There's been many a nights where my uncle and I will sit up till, from when we finish eating dinner, it's, let's say 7 o'clock. And before we know it, it's 1:30 in the morning, and we've been discussing business, sports, whatever it might be, working on communication skills, listening skills, gaining knowledge, stuff like that. And the time just flies by, and it's like, oh my God, dude, we gotta wake up in the morning, we gotta work. But those conversations I really love, and don't get me wrong, still being able to talk and communicate with people through cell phone or through FaceTime and all that, it's very cool. But you need to be able to carry on a conversation with someone and be able to listen to what they're saying. Just sitting there like this, just not talking, that's not listening. When you're engaged in a conversation with someone, you should be paying attention to every single thing that they're saying. And then once they say it, take a break for 2 seconds, apply what they said. If I'm listening to you and you say the sky is blue, I'll take a second and I'll say, okay, well, yeah, the sky is blue, but yesterday the sky was gray. And then you just, you're flowing with it. That's just a stupid little example, but you got to be paying attention to what someone's saying. Because regardless of how big technology gets or whatever it is, at some point, you're going to go for a job interview. Whether you're in high school right now watching this video, you just graduated, or even if you're older and you go to a job interview, it's face to face. I'm looking you in the eye and you're looking back at me in the eye. And you got to be able to carry on a conversation and have some confidence in yourself. These one-word answer people, they have no confidence in themselves. Because if they did, they would talk about what they do and, elaborate on it. So when you're going for a job interview, they want you need to be prepared, be ready to speak, be ready to listen to what they're saying. So I feel this is something that we really need to work on. And how do you work on it? That it's a matter of effort. It's a matter of effort. If you are the one-liner, I'm a carpenter, that's it. Start elaborating more. It's literally, it's something you could do. It's not that hard, but it's a very, very important skill to grasp and have. You know, it's very important. It's everything. Communication is everything in life. If, in the relationships that I've been in, whether they worked out or they didn't work out, well, obviously they didn't work out, but the communication, if there is no communication, then it doesn't work out. Even my relationship with my uncle, my uncle, when we're at work, he's my boss, I'm his employer or his employee. And we need to communicate. Hey, Mike, or hey, I still call him Uncle Mike, but, hey, Uncle Mike, I need salt treated wood in. We're running low on that. When are we going to get this in? Blah, 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 blah. Then he comes back to me. All right, Sprout. Salt treated wood will be in at the end of the week and all that. How many cabinets you got outside? These 3 spas need to go out tomorrow, so we got to jump on them. We constantly keep communicating with each other, and that's what makes the business successful. That's what makes the warehouse successful. That's what gets the spas out the door. So whatever field you're in, whatever it is, whether you're getting out of college, going for that first job interview, or even in the work, even in your job right now, I'd be willing to bet that you can get better, more efficient at it if you just improve on communication and listening skills. Your relationship with your manager, with your boss, having a conversation like I have with my uncle. Now, at the same time, he's my uncle, so, we can shoot the shit, basically, and talk to each other back and forth, and it's not that big of a deal. And some people have managers that they hate, they absolutely hate them, and, when you get in these big companies and all that, and, it's different. We're a family-run company, so my cousin Bud, or even my uncle, I see them pretty much every single day. And we're always talking to each other and communicating. My cousin's girlfriend, Melissa, she works for a big bowling company called AMF. There's AMFs all over the country. Well, the guy that runs AMF does not know every single manager at every single place and all that. So the love and appreciation is not there. She's been working for the company for such a long time, and she's the assistant manager there. And she's fantastic at her job, works very, very hard. She's very, very smart, and they've had a changing in management, and they needed a new manager to run the bowling alley that she works at, and they just totally overlooked her, which makes no sense to me. She's been working her butt off and all that, but when you get into these big businesses, they care less about that. All they care about is the money. That's all they care about. Now, I know I'm going totally all over the place with this, but I'm going to end on this. You need to work on yourself. You really, really need to work on yourself. I work on myself every single day. That's how I improve. Communication, listening, thinking. I have a friend, he's a bodybuilder. He's always working on his muscles, I got to get ready for this competition and all that. And I said to him one day, I'm like, you work on that so much. When's the last time you worked on your brain? How often do people pick up books to learn things? When I'm at work, I'm working, but I have my cell phone in and I'm always listening to podcasts. I'm always listening to business talks. I'm listening to videos on how to run a YouTube channel, how to run a Twitch channel. I'm constantly learning information and trying to apply that to my own life so I could better my life. And I really feel that people just don't do that. And, I love helping people, and I want us to grow as a society. And that's, one of the reasons why I started this podcast series, was to help people. But, so I'm going to end on that. I'm going to be coming out with montage this week. So we'll get back into the gaming stuff, which that'll be awesome. I've got some sick Fortnite clips. I got one Call of Duty clip that I'm just going to throw in there just to throw everybody off. But I'm getting really nasty with Fortnite when it comes to sniping. So I got that in the works. Just got to do some editing. I'm waiting on my buddy Seraphin. We're working on some music together to put in the montage. So I got all that in the works, so that probably won't come out till later on in the week, but I'm going to be putting out some gameplay and all that. Still going to be live streaming on Twitch and all that. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. Thank you all for the love and support. If you haven't done it already, like the video, comment down below any ideas of videos that you would like me to come out with. I'm open ears. I would love to hear it. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything whatsoever. I'm going to put a link down below to my Instagram account and to my Twitch account, twitch.tv/Mystic Malones. I stream at least 3 to 4 times every single week for, about 4 hours each night, 3 hours roughly. It kind of depends. I come home from work and shower, eat dinner, and then I'll stream for a couple hours. So you can see me there. You can see me on my Instagram account. And I hope you all have a great week. Thank you all for the love and support. And I'm out of here. See ya.